Last week, Executive Chef Mohsine Korich took us through the making of fresh pasta.
A little bit salt, just go ahead. Start with a little bit salt and the eggs. And then we work. And then as you go, you see the structure and then you add a little bit more flour or you add an egg. If it's too runny, you put a little bit more flour. If it's too thick, you put a little bit more eggs.
A simple enough process that you can try at home, but in case you missed out, worry not. You can check it out on our YouTube channel, Brand Plus TV.
So you can bring this to the stock and then you just cook it and you have fresh pasta with a beautiful seafood or beautiful even tomatoes. You know, you make a tomato sauce with basil and you have a beautiful fresh pasta.
This week, he takes us a step further by preparing an amazing dish with the tagiateili he freshly made.
So, like we just said, after making the pasta, very, very important, the ingredient in the pasta. So, we have actually three things. It's the flour. It needs to be good flour, please. Very, very important, the eggs, and then salt, and then a little bit olive oil. Okay. So now, very important with the pasta, of course, is your sauce. Because pasta just like this, you cannot eat. So, to make the sauce, we'll keep it very, very simple. Chopped onions, glaze the chopped onions, garlic, glaze the garlic, see, nicely. The olive oil is very, very important. Please do choose a very good olive oil. Get me the blender also. Now, when the olive oil, the blender, the small one, then I have here chicken stock, I have some white wine. I'm gonna add to the sauce just a little bit. And if you don't drink or if you don't like white wine, or for any reason you don't drink white wine, then you can just do the chicken stock, or for the vegetarians, you can do a vegetable stock. So we're gonna reduce. We're gonna reduce the stock, the white wine, then the onions, the garlic. When we're gonna give them a time to reduce and to make a beautiful harmony together. Okay, very important. Salt and pepper. So let it reduce. Salt, not too much salt with the pasta because most of the pastas we consume with Parmesan cheese or Parmigiano Reggiano, what they call it. It's an old cheese, about 5 years old, and it's pretty salty. So be careful when you make a sauce for the pasta that the saltiness, that you don't add much salt to it. Now we're gonna let reduce, and then I'm gonna add some cream. Get me another one. A bigger one. So we're gonna let reduce also. And then very important, always taste. The sauce is coming beautifully. Get me some butter, soft butter, and flour for the beurre manier. And then I'm gonna show you a way actually of making the sauces thicker, which you can do at home, very easy. What we call in the kitchen a beurre manier. Beurre manier is a 50% butter, 50% flour. We're gonna mix them together, and then we can thicken the sauce very easy without adding or any flavor to it actually. So the sauce is going to be reducing, and then in the same time, by reducing the sauce, we're going to take the pasta that we made. Now the pasta, we let it dry for about 48 hours after making it fresh. Why? Because if it's too fresh, it's going to stick together when you cook it. So it's very, very important. Make it. When I make pasta at home, I make like, you know, when you put your clothes outside, hanging. So I put the same thing, a robe, and then I put the pasta outside to hang, and then for a couple of hours, and then it dries very nicely, and then I make the rolls like this. So now, very important, we're gonna cook the pasta for about 6 to 7 minutes, al dente. Very important also, olive oil to give it the freshness, salt, and then I throw the pasta when my stock is already cooking. So I do the pasta in either chicken stock or vegetable stock for people that don't like chicken or vegetarians. So you can cook it anyway. Now we're gonna keep it for a couple of minutes, and then while the pasta is cooking, we're gonna finish the sauce. We're gonna add some Parmesan cheese, and like I said, be careful with the saltness because the Parmesan is already very, very salty. Okay? So there you see, the pasta is cooking very, very beautiful. Where is my tongue? Send it here. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna try and separate the pasta a little bit. Sauce is cooking. See, and multitask. The kitchen, to work in the kitchen, you have to be very ordered, very organized, because you know you want to be able to do 2, 3, 4 things together. Otherwise, you're, you know, when you come to a restaurant and you want to eat, lots of people don't know what happened before we even start cooking. Is that we need to do our mise en place. We need to make everything ready before you enter the door of the restaurant so we can cook for you. Now, and I tell my guys always, mise en place is 80% of your work. So if you're ready, anybody can come and you can serve 100 people. If you're not ready, you can have a table of 2 and you will have a problem running all over the place. So now, if you want to see, the sauce is cooking. See, it's reducing. I'm gonna give it another 2 minutes, time that my pasta is cooked. And then we're gonna plate. Now, like I said, for the sauces, you know, some people go and buy starch, corn starch. It's lots of chemical things that are added to those starches before you even hit the retail. So what I do, I put 15 grams of butter and 15 grams of flour, and I make a dough that is gonna help me to but if you see, also the sauce becomes shiny. So you give the thickness and the beautiful shyness of the sauce. Now, this thing is handy because now I'm mixing the flavors. I'm mixing the flavors together. It means the flavors, the onion, the garlic, olive oil, white wine, stock, chicken or vegetable stock, and then the Parmesan cheese. This is gonna be all a beautiful marriage, beautiful harmony together. Now, can I have a spoon, please? Now, the final touch is tasting your sauce. Beautiful. Beautiful. So, you see the thickness is already here. The shiny, beautiful. And then you can taste the onions. You can taste everything actually together. This is funny. This is nice. This is now very important. Your pasta should be al dente. It should not be too cooked, because then it's not a pasta. You have to have a bite in it. Now this needs another minute. The sauce is reducing. And while the sauce is reducing, we're gonna add some beautiful herbs, fresh herbs. Now, I don't believe as a chef in cutting the herbs. I think it's when you start cutting them with a knife, you take all the sweetness out of the herbs, all the freshness out of the herbs. So me, I believe in freshness. I believe that what this earth gave us is always beautiful if you leave it natural. So I just cut the herbs and then add them to the sauce. And you will see that there is a very big difference between just cutting and just cutting like this or with the knife. So I'm adding some basil, fresh basil from our garden. And we're ready. Pasta is ready. Then we're gonna add the pasta to our sauce. Now when you eat or when you work with pasta, don't work with it too much that it doesn't cut, you know, because some people start mixing the pasta and everything, and it's not nice because then it's not the structure that you want. Okay? So we're gonna add a little bit of beetroot, jelly. I want to give it a fishy flavor, so we're gonna add a squid ink. So again, plating. Where's the other one? It's in my office. At the I have this carving things there. So plating is again very, very important. Okay, now the pasta, it has sitting in the sauce for a couple of minutes. And it already absorbed the sauce. It's beautiful. It's tasty. What we're gonna add a little bit salt here, and then we're gonna give it a little bit color, and then some flour, please. So Italian parsley. And then some edible flowers, just to enhance the color and to make the pasta beautiful and tasty. So now, when you have your family or friends at home come in and you are making something beautiful like this, I think they're gonna love you. Voila. So this is, if you want, you can make this in less than half an hour and you have a beautiful dish. But also you have something to be proud of because you know you don't have much ingredients, and yet a very, very beautiful, harmonious combination from tagliatelle. We made fresh tagliatelle. We made the fresh sauce with onions, garlic, parsley, basil, white wine, cream, and Parmesan cheese. And everything is fresh. So why people, and I don't understand, and you know the trend is in Europe is to go to the retail, to the supermarkets and buy ready food, ready cooked food, without no vitamins, without nothing, no freshness. You can do it at home in less than half an hour and you have a beautiful dish. Thank you guys.